Nick Saban wants to change the way that we do the college football playoff, and he is echoing a sentiment that is shared by many college football fans, some administrators, and, well, I don't think a lot of players. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. Do you want to see a different playoff system for the Power Four and the non-Power Four teams? Now, I need to also say in here, Notre Dame is not a Power Four conference team, though we treat it like a Power Four team. I realize that to some people, that is a pedantic argument. But for those of us that root for teams that are in a conference where you got to play against the SEC or the Big Ten or even the ACC and the Big 12, it does mean quite a bit that you don't get to dodge Bama or Georgia or Ohio State or Penn State or Oregon. Maybe not Penn State this year, but the point there is the same. Texas A&M, Miami, teams that really did have to scratch and claw rather than make their own damn schedules and play whoever it is they want. It's one of the reasons that we decree what Notre Dame has done, and we decree what independents think they are entitled to. Now, I am been a loud detractor of how Notre Dame goes about its business. It doesn't fit in line with the collective, and the collective looks around and goes, are we going to continue to let this continue to happen? And as Notre Dame has decided to try to flex its elitism by saying we're just not going to participate in the postseason if we're not invited to the college football playoff, robbing college football fans the opportunity to perhaps see Jeremiah Love play football one more time, or even the next crop of Notre Dame players, if that's what you so choose to do, it feels like more and more this is about the money. And that's because it is. College football is a business. We do business here. I understand that part. And Notre Dame is doing business for itself, which you can understand. Free markets, capitalism, apex predator in capitalism. They don't get to be billionaire institutions by being nice people. Now, however, I will add to this that game theory is doing what's best for yourself and the group. And that's where conferences work. We don't talk enough about why conferences work and how they work. Conferences are the creation of leagues that can play on television. You're stronger negotiating together at the table than you are singularly. Notre Dame has said, actually, we're stronger by ourselves. We don't want to participate in the dealings that the Big Ten has with Fox, NBC, or CBS, or we don't want to deal with just the SEC having to go to ESPN for their games, and on it goes, right? I think as we're getting to the college football playoff and we are nearing expansion, which we'll do another segment about that later, it is important that you get as many of the brand name teams in the playoff as you can. But I don't think that people like the way in which they're doing it because it feels like we're guaranteeing spots for teams that did not earn it on the field. To which I would say, stop letting people vote in a committee room about who gets into the college football playoff and make it real simple. I have done this exercise for the better part of half the season where we have a hypothetical 24-team bracket where the top 4 teams in each one of the conference standings automatically get selected. And then you can let your suits in a boardroom decide what other 6 teams they want alongside with the 2 best G6 teams. And I think that's where this idea that Nick Saban has started to populate is picking up steam. Because even in my 2014 playoff model, we're not really interested in the G6. If we were, we would probably be a little bit more detail oriented about how those teams get selected, right? As opposed to the 2 best teams. They could be the conference champions. They could be 5 and 7 teams. It's really up to the discretion of the committee. And you're seeing more of that happen just now. And I think that is one reason we're about to hear this from Nick Saban. So Nick says, we would allow the winner of the AAA baseball league, the International League, I don't know even the name of it, Texas League, maybe. Would you let them into the World Series? That's the equivalent of what we do when JMU gets into the playoff and Notre Dame doesn't. He goes on, I don't want to start any shit here, but these guys ought to have their own playoff. Just give them the money. Each school gets $4 million for playing the first round. Just give them $4 million and put Notre Dame in. Want to see Notre Dame and Oregon play? Hell yes. Hell yes. That is Nick Saban's idea for the college football playoff and where it should be extended. I got to tell you, when I have these conversations and text messages with sources, they love this idea. I'm the only person that seems to believe that the G6 should be able to play for the same damn national championship as everybody else. However, if you're going to continue to tell me that you don't think that the G6 is any good, okay. What I think is important, though, is that if you're going to extend the playoff, you extend it with the caveat that you are extending it to get more Power 4 teams in and not put more G6 teams in. If that is the case, I also think that the G6 getting $4 million to divvy up among itself is smacking it in the face. I think they would rather just not take your money. I think that playing in the first round is $4 million. Playing the next round, another $4 million. The next round, another $4 million. Like Notre Dame cleaned up $20 million from making the national championship game last year. That is the reason why the G6 wants this opportunity. They would bet on themselves to hit the lottery. They would bet on themselves, which is where we say America lives. And that's where I'm going to disagree with Nick Saban. You give me a chance to go play against Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana as JMU or Tulane, I'm going to take that opportunity 100% of the time. Do I want to play for my own itty-bitty national championship? No, because it's an itty-bitty national championship. You only play in the NIT because you didn't get into the NCAA tournament. You didn't get selected, right? You want to have another tournament where we just have more postseason football? Great, fine. But don't make it another national championship. Don't make it the G6 national title. That's asinine. And frankly, it's patronizing. Don't patronize me. Don't patronize a school just because its enrollment is small and it doesn't play on a big television platform. I think that we live in a world and we live in a country that believes in David versus Goliath. And we all know that David came up with a slingshot. Goliath did not. Maybe James Madison's got a clean shot. Maybe Tulane has learned something from their beatdown 45-10 against Ole Miss. Maybe not. Maybe they get just destroyed again. As a fan, you're going to watch the game. Are you going to be moaning and complaining that's a blowout? Sure. Just as you're going to be moaning and complaining that it's on TNT as opposed to ESPN. And you're also going to get more fodder for the folks that believe that ESPN is not doing a great job with the college football playoff as they're sub-licensing 10 college football playoff games that are worth about $118 million per game. So you're not going to see Miami and Texas A&M on big ESPN or ABC, which feels stupid. But also, you're up against the NFL. You're up against the NBA. And because we don't play any football games the second week of December, save the one, Army versus Navy, you're letting a lot of money go so you can keep tradition at a time when everybody needs money. And the first thing to go when you need money is your tradition. This is why private equity coming into sport is going to be really bad. A lot of those traditions are going to go, nope, this is a money suck. Get rid of it. Nope, we're spending too much money on that. Get rid of it. Why are we playing teams across the country when we could play a team just down the road? This is what's going to happen at that level. I think at the college football playoff level, this is a champagne problem, right? Notre Dame not getting selected to the college football playoff like Alabama last year, like Florida State 2023. I don't care. I really don't. They're fine. They're going to make their money. James Madison's bringing home $4 million to the Sun Belt. Tulane's bringing home $4 million to the American. Y'all claim to like college football at all levels. You claim to want to see scholarship play at all levels. How do you think those scholarships get paid for? Not everybody's got big money donors like those at Notre Dame or even SMU for that matter. You got to take it where you can get it. And if it's easy for you to go into the ring and fight, then damn it, be a prize fighter. And that's what G6 programs are at their heart. They're prize fighters. They're not going to win heavyweight championships any more than Floyd Mayweather is going to win a heavyweight championship. And it's like, well, they got weight classes in boxing. Yeah, because it's bad spectacle, right? You're telling me that Floyd Mayweather is James Madison? I'm going to tell you, he probably beats the crap out of the heavyweight champ. We're just never going to see it because one big blow from the heavyweight champ is worth, 6 rounds of scoring or even 11 rounds of scoring if you get knocked out by Floyd Mayweather. I wouldn't equate those is what I'm saying. I wouldn't say pound for pound champ. I wouldn't want to do that. I would want to say they got 12, they got 11 aside. We got 11 aside. Let's go play ball. Let's go play ball. And if we want to have an undisputed, no weight class barred championship, we would do that. But that's not what the public wants, which gets me back to my point. If this is what you ultimately want, do it in a non-patronizing way. But if I am Tulane or James Madison, put me in this tournament. Let me see if I can't kick somebody's ass.